Hello, I've been getting out and about a lot recently, or rather I should say we have been getting out and about a lot recently. For a while now, my sort of new routine, now that my wife and my daughters have come back to live with me, we're all living together now, my new routine has been taking my daughter out to a park pretty much every morning really. Unless the weather isn't very good, and I do this just to take my daughter out the house, give her some exercise, give her a break from being indoors all the time, and I've also been doing this to give my wife a bit of a break as well. Although obviously she still has to stay at home and look after my other daughter, but it is a lot less stressful when there's just one child in the house to look after, I will say. Now, I think I have mentioned this before, but in Japan, for the first month, I don't know about required, but it's advised that you stay indoors with your newborn child. Just for the first month, I guess the idea is to limit the contact with outside people, germs, things like that. It's not really something we do in England, but it does seem to be the done thing here in Japan. So, we followed the advice. But that time is up now. It came to an end recently. And for the first time, we were able to go out, the four of us together, to a park. And that was really nice. It was a very different feeling. I don't know, maybe like, I felt like we were a family again. Although I suppose we've been a family for a while, but we haven't really been able to do certain sort of like family activities together that we would normally do. And one of the things we were quite fond of doing together as a family is just going out to a park and doing whatever you do in the park, sitting down, relaxing sometimes, well, as much as you can, mostly just chasing my daughter around and making sure she doesn't get into any mischief these days. So it was nice to be able to do that again, as a family, and to also have the newest member of my family joining us as well. And it just so happens that the time when we decide, well, not that when we decide, the time when we want to do this, the time when that like month of quarantine has sort of come to an end, the weather decides to get amazingly warm, to the point where it's like too warm, like 30 degrees type of warm, which doesn't sound terrible. I don't think. I mean, if it's 30 degrees and dry weather, it's not too bad. But in Japan, it's 30 degrees and very humid weather, and it just feels so stiflingly hot. It's like suffocatingly hot. And it's only May, and the summer's not even here yet, really. So we were all saying, like, oh dear, can you imagine how much worse it's going to get when the summer's actually here? Having said that, though, I have been appreciative of the nice weather. I mean, it feels like it was only like a week ago or so that I was just thinking, oh, the weather's going to change soon, and I'll be going out in a t-shirt again, and all of a sudden here it is. It's I don't know. It seems like such a quick change, but I think it's sort of still at that time of year where it can change quickly. Like next week it might go back down into the, I don't know, the low 20s or something like that. Maybe even dip down into the high teens in the morning or the evening. I mean, at the moment, it can still feel sort of refreshing. If I go out for like an early walk in the morning, there's still a sort of like a little bit of, like, I don't know, sort of slightly cold weather hanging around in the air in the mornings. Whereas, come full on summer here in Japan, you just wake up and it's hot as soon as you woken up. You can wake up. It doesn't matter what time you wake up. You can wake up 4 a.m. in the morning. It's still ridiculously hot. So we're not quite there yet. But yeah, as luck would have it, just when we were ready to start going out, all the really hot weather comes, which makes it a bit more difficult to go out when you've got such a small child, and a newborn, of course. I don't know what my eldest daughter is thinking of it. I mean, she was able to escape all of this heat last time around. We went to England, and I don't know. We had a reasonably. I'm not going to say cold summer, but there were definitely periods where I had more than just a t-shirt and a jumper on. So it's the first time she's experiencing this heat, and so far, I mean, she can't really talk, so she can't complain about it. But so far, it seems like she's getting along fine. The park we took her to had like a sort of like man-made stream, especially for paddling in. For children to paddle in. I mean, the adults can join the children as well. I did. I took my sandals off and I got in there with my daughter. And she seemed to enjoy playing around in the water. And today we've just been out to another park. It's not the weekend, so it was a lot quieter. And when I say a lot quieter, I mean there was pretty much just us there, to be perfectly honest. There's one park that's not too far away from us, and almost no one goes there, which is great. It's great if you like peace and quiet. And there's some swings and slides there that my daughter seems to enjoy going on a lot. And perhaps more importantly, there's quite a few trees in this park, which is due to the weather I was just talking about, is a requirement of any park we visit now. You just wouldn't sit down in this weather for very long, unless you had some kind of giant sun umbrella or something to keep the sun off you. So you're always looking for shade. And as there's quite a few trees in this park, it's a good park for that. So I can imagine we'll be visiting this place more often. I think my wife is really enjoying the experience of going to parks again. Not necessarily the parks themselves, but just being able to get out of the house must be nice for her. I mean, she has on occasion gone out. I've looked after both of my daughters, so she's gone out somewhere, but it's usually been for like going to a council building, like a town hall type building for some errand. Not going out for fun, not going out for pleasure. So it's nice that we've all been able to go out together as a family to do something fun together. That's been really nice. Like I said, it sort of feels like we're a proper family again. Doing family things together now. So yeah, it's been nice. And I will say, I've been very impressed with my tiny Japanese car, which I've since discovered can fit in the four of us, and that includes two, child seats as well, and also a pushchair in the back. And this is all in a car that has a footprint that's actually smaller. I think it's not quite as long and not quite as wide as a tiny Fiat 500. If you're familiar with those cars, those really tiny, quite popular cars. My mother actually drives one of those, and every time I get in it, my head touches the ceiling, whether I'm sitting in the front seat or the rear seat. It doesn't really matter. The rear seat's worse though, but you would never fit. You'd never fit two child seats and a pushchair in a Fiat 500. And actually, there are quite a few cars that you would probably struggle to do that with. I mean, pushchairs going in cars, especially like going in like the rear storage space in the boot, that's always a bit of a pain, or can be a bit of a pain. But no, it just goes straight in this car. And this is just showing off now. If I stack it vertically instead of like lying it down horizontally, I've worked out I could actually get two in there as well. So that's amazing. If you see this car, it's so tiny, and you've got four people in there, two child seats, and potentially two pushchairs in there as well, out of a tiny car, with an engine that's less than half a litre. So it really is impressive. I just keep being impressed by it, like how well thought out the design is. I do appreciate things when they're, when they've been well thought out, when they've been well designed, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of using such things. Although I will say there aren't a lot of products that live up to my high standards normally, but I think this car might be one of them. So yeah, well done. Well done Daihatsu, I guess, for your work on the Tanto. But then again, I suppose any of the small K cars are sort of similar in design. Having said that, I think Daihatsu were the company that popularized the sort of tall, small K car design. So yes, I guess thanks to Daihatsu for that. Anyway, that's it for now. That's a bit of an update, how things are going. Yeah, I look forward to talking to you again soon. Hopefully have some more stories to tell you. Okay, until next time, bye-bye.